Welcome guys back to the channel. Today we're cooking Mr. Naga. Mr. Naga's on the menu. It might not be on my chalkboard, but it's on the menu. Mr. Naga is a British curry house favourite and a British invention. You'll not find this curry on the streets of Delhi, Dhaka or Karachi for that matter. It's a British curry house favourite. If you like curries that are spicy, if you like curries that have got a sweet element to them and a unique flavour profile, you're going to absolutely love this curry. In fact, in my book, that's where the recipe comes from, part 2 of the secret to that takeaway curry taste. You'll find this recipe and I've taken it straight out of my book. There are a couple of differences, not many. One mainly that we're using my Indian base for this curry. We're not using a typical Bangladeshi style base. And the other is that we're using a chili pickle rather than a garlic pickle because I think it actually tastes better. And this curry is truly superb, full of flavour and a winner. It might be known in your neck of the woods or your curry house as Naga chicken. Commonality of this curry, as we get our pan on there, is that it uses the Naga Pickle. That's what we've got here. This is Mr. Naga Pickle, which you can get from most Asian stores. You can get it online, you can get it on Amazon actually, and it gives it a characteristic taste. It's not blindingly hot, but it's full of flavour. So in with our oil. The full ingredients for this curry, guys, will be in the video description below, so go and take a picture of that, then you've got everything that you need. Now we're using some finely chopped onions to give it a really nice texture. So we've got here about a medium onion, finely chopped. Cook them for a couple of minutes. Now while those onions are cooking, we might as well add in our salt. We've got about half a teaspoon of salt. This is a recipe for 2, but go according to your taste. The salt will help the onions break down in the pan. And we're going to add in our methi too at this stage. So I'm going to put that in my hand. Give it a really good scrunch, just to break it up a bit and release some of the oils. And once those onions have become a bit translucent, in about another minute, we'll add in our garlic and ginger. The other difference with this recipe from the one in my book I use ghee as well as oil, but we're not doing that because my base, if you know about this base, you know, has ghee in it already. So we don't need to add extra ghee, and that's the other difference. So they're looking great. So I'm going to add in the garlic and ginger. This is just blended garlic and ginger 50-50. Wow. Just with those ingredients, the garlic, the ginger, the methi, the onions, you've already got that curry house smell. We just need to cook out the garlic and ginger. You can hear it by the sizzle. I always go off the sizzle. When that sort of quietens down a little bit, you know that all of the water has pretty much evaporated out of the garlic and ginger. So we're going to go in with our tomato paste. So this is just a good quality tomato puree that's been blended with a little bit of water. Just makes it easier to cook in the pan. Tomato puree can be a little bit acidic, so you want to cook that out. Just wait again until the sizzle dies down a little bit. You can see the oil separating from the mixture in the pan. Now we're going in with 1 tablespoon of my mixed powder. Mixed powder is a typical curry house blend of foundational spices. The recipe for my mixed powder is in my ebook, but you can get a recipe for this anywhere on YouTube. There are many people with recipes on YouTube. Now we're going in with a tablespoon amount, which is normally in my recipe for 1 person, yet this curry's for 2, so why are we only going in with 1 tablespoon? Well, because in my base, my Indian base, it's got a higher spice level. You don't need to add as much spice because there are whole spices and different types of spices in my base. We just want to draw out the flavours from that mixed powder. At this stage, I like to add a little bit of fresh coriander. So I'm just going to take a good handful there and just put that in. So now we can add in our chicken. So what I've done basically is I've taken some chicken. This is chicken breast. I usually use thigh, but a few people have been asking me to do a chicken curry with breast. Some people prefer breast. This has been cooked according to my chicken tikka method in my air fryer. I will post a link to that video below. So now we're going to put in our base. So the rule of thumb with this base if you've been following this series of videos using my Indian base, is that you only need 1 chef spoon amount per person. So that's a 30-gram chef spoon. So that's 1, 2, there's just a little bit more, we'll add that in. And remember, with this base, it's like a reverse base. What do we mean? Well, with a typical thin base, a Bangladeshi base, you're going to reduce the liquid out of the base. We don't do that. We add the liquid based on our desired consistency. Now, we don't need to cook this. We don't need to really reduce it or anything. It's already done. It's ready to go. So we can just add a little bit of water. Don't add too much water too quickly. We'll build it until we get the desired gravy that we want for this curry. Now, at this stage, we can add in our other ingredients. So we've got 2 heaped teaspoons here of green, it's the Charm brand of chili, green chili pickle. Really adds a lovely mustardy sort of flavour to our curry, because I think we use mustard oil in that particular pickle. It really does add a lovely layer of flavour. So just add that in, and then we're going to add in our Mr.Naga. So we've got here a heaped teaspoon with some of the oil, and you can smell it immediately. It really does have a characteristic smell and taste. The other great thing about this base, guys, is just how quickly you get there. It's even quicker than cooking with a typical Bangladeshi base, because you have to reduce that. It's done. If I was to open a takeaway or a restaurant now, this is the base I'd be going with. I'd be knocking curries out much quicker. So next, we're going to go in with some plum tomatoes. We've got 4 plum tomatoes. Normally my recipe in my book, it's 2 for 1 portion. This is for 2, so we're going with 4, and some of the juice. Don't use tinned chopped tomatoes, because it's a different type of tomato that they use than these plum Italian tomatoes, which have a different sort of flavour. Now that sauce is looking a little bit thick for me, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. Just about that much. Now we're going to add in some sugar, and we've got here, it's about 1.5 tablespoons of demerara brown sugar, and that's the sweet element. About this next ingredient, this is my masala sauce. Now it looks a little bit different, and if you see my masala sauce from my ebook videos, because in my ebook there are lots of videos that you can only access through the book, you'll notice that my masala sauce is red. That's because of food colouring. In this curry, I've not added any food colouring. But generally these days I'm avoiding food colouring, and there's a video as well in my book that shows you how to make it. But I will link in the description below a sort of a small version of this. We're just going to put in about 1 sort of level chef spoon amount of this masala sauce, and this really is a key ingredient. It's so powerful, this sauce, that I call it in my book magic sauce. It's almost magic really, in that it can transform a curry from one thing into a completely different thing. So that is pretty much done. All we need to do now is I'm just going to leave that now for 2 minutes just to cook away and allow the oil to separate. Once the oil separates, I'm just going to decorate it with a little bit more fresh coriander, and I'll serve it up in the serving bowl and do the taste test and tell you what this Mr.Naga tastes like with my new Indian base. So first of all, I'm just going to try some sauce. Oh wow. The Mr.Naga has floral notes, very, very aromatic. Lovely, it really does make this dish. Let me just try a little bit more. What works is them onions that you've just cooked to help create the texture in the curry. It really just gives body to it, and a little bit of crunch as well, because we didn't cook them to death. We didn't cook them until they went brown and really soft. A little bit of this chicken. I'm only going to try a little bit because this curry is for somebody else. So let's just try this chicken and tell you what it tastes like that's been cooked in my air fryer. That's so juicy. So why don't you go and make that this weekend, guys? If you love a spicy curry, I think you're going to absolutely love this Mr. Naga. Make it and then let me know what you think about it. I love to read your comments in the comments section below. Some of you guys have been sending me photos of your creations and it's nice to see those, so feel free to send me a photo if you want. My email is in the description also below. But until next time, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Happy currying.